So I got a few requests from friends to do a drugstore look for those who do not own any prestige makeup. And honestly, drugstore makeup has evolved a lot over the past few years, and you can buy anything from contour kits to eyeshadow palettes, lip liners, etc. So if you want to know how I got this look with just drugstore products, continue watching and I'll show you step by step. So starting off with a clean face, we're just going to go in with Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser right here. And I'm just taking a pea size of that, and I'm going to go spread it onto the T-zone areas. I don't know if the camera's picking it up due to the lighting I have, but yesterday I broke out into a rash, and I have like all these red spots on my face and on my forehead. So I'm going to show you how to cover that up if anything if anything like that happens. So next we're going to go in with a foundation, and I'm just using the Maybelline Matte and Poreless due to my oily skin type. So I'm just pouring some of the product onto the back of my hand like so, dipping the sponge in, and spreading it all over my face. I am aware that it is lighter than my face, but it does match my neck. My face is just always pale compared to my body. After foundation, I'm going to go in with my Quo Color Corrector palette, and I'm going to use the green concealer, just like I used to cover up pimples. I'm going to do that and cover up my rash. So I'm just going to go in with a sponge like this, and I'm going to use the end of it, dip it into the green, and kind of lightly tap it onto my face. I don't want to go in full with a brush, I just want to go on the areas that I have a lot of redness. And green cancels out red, so this will help. And once you put it on the problem areas, you're just going to go back in with your sponge with the side you dipped your foundation in and blend it out. And I'm just going to take a little bit of the foundation and with my finger just dab it on over the spots where I added the concealer, just to kind of conceal the green. We're done with foundation. I'm going to go in with my NYX Dark Circle Concealer in the shade Medium, and it is like an apricot shade. So I'm just going to go in with my Real Technique Deluxe Crease Brush. And I like this because it is kind of tapered at the end, and it makes it easier to blend out afterwards. And just apply this to the dark circle area. And blend it out. After that, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles in the shade Neutralizer, and we're going to highlight with this. So just underneath the eyes in a triangular shape. I'm going to add it onto my eyelids as a primer. And blend it out in a tapping motion, not a wiping motion. After we're done with concealer, I'm just going to go in with my Infallible Pro Matte powder in the shade Nude Beige. And this is the Shine Control powder. I'm just going to tap it into the skin, avoiding the eye area. And with a translucent powder, I'm just going to conceal my dark circles with a powder, a translucent powder. And next we're going to start on the eyes, and for the eyes I'm going to be using Maybelline's The Blushed Nudes palette. And these colors are highly pigmented for a drugstore brand. And I'll show you a couple swatches. So I'm just going to go in this shade right here. And that is a swatch. And I'm going to go in with this shade right here and also swatch that. And as you can see, it's pretty pigmented and it is a drugstore brand. So I'm just going to start the eyeshadow look with a all over shadow brush, and it's by Quo. And I'm going to take this shade right here, dip my brush into that color, and I'm just going to put it all over my lid. Nothing special. And I'm going to put it on both eyelids. This will just make the eyeshadow glide on easier and blend. After that's all over the eye, I'm going to go in with a Quo crease brush right here. And I'm going to take this shade right here. And I'm going to dip my brush into that shade, and I'm going to add it to my crease. This palette gives you many options as what look you can do. I'm just going to go for a more pink slash darker look, just so you guys can really see it. So I'm just adding that into my crease. Looks a little messy right now, but we're going to blend that out. And I'm just going to go in with this crease shadow brush by Quo, and I'm going to blend everything out. And I'm going to dip the brush into that first color we used all over the lid, just so it blends out easier. And you're just going to go back and forth, blending out. And kind of in a circular motion when you're blending out the shadow. And you want to make sure you're really blending out this color because it is a darker shade. You don't want any harsh lines. Once that is all blended out, I'm going to go in with this second last bottom pink shade right here. And I'm going to add that onto my eyelid. And you want to pat on this color because you don't want any fallout, as we already highlighted the under eye dark circles. And you can just keep on adding this shade to your liking. Dampen this this brush with L'Oreal Infallible Pro Setting Spray. When you do wet the brush, it does pick up more color and it makes it more pigmented. But it will make it harder to blend. So just be careful and add in small amounts. Now I'm just going with the flow for this look. And lastly, I'm just going to go in with this dark shade right here. And I'm going to dip my brush, the same brush we used for all over our lid, and I'm going to go add that onto the outer corners of our eyes. Just to give it a smoky look. And I'm just going to slowly add on that color. And I'm going to do it on both sides. Right now it might look messy, but we're going to blend that out. And again, I'm going to take the blending brush and I'm going to dip it in the color that we put all over our lid. Not the first color, but this color right here. And I'm going to go blend out the darker shade. I'm just going to go back and forth. I'm not going to go on the entire lid, just in that outer area. So we don't want it to look like we packed on the color, and it needs to look blended. And we're going to do the same on the other eye. And I'm actually just going to take the same brush, mix the both colors, and add it on just to make it look a little bit more smoky. And there's so many options to what look you can go for with this palette. I'm going to take the crease blender brush and I'm going to dip it into the darkest color we used to give that smoky effect, and I'm just going to take the very tip of it and dip it into that color. And very carefully I'm going to add it to my bottom lash line. Just to give it a more dramatic look. And for brows, I'm just going to go in with this Annabelle Universal Dark Brown liner. And I'm going to start on the ends of my brows because I want the end of my brows to look darker than the front, just so it looks more natural. And you want to use the brow pencil in small hair-like strokes. And once you kind of have an outline, you just want to take a little bit of the product and add it to the middle of the brow. And you don't want to bring it to the front of the brow, just almost at the front. Once both brows are filled, you're going to take a clean spoolie brush and you're going to blend it out. Once your brows are all filled in and blended out, we're going to start with contouring. And drugstore makeup is always evolving, and they recently came out with a contour kit by Maybelline, and it just looks like this. And it does come with a brush as well. I got it in the light to medium shade. It comes with a small angled brush. I'm not going to be using this brush just because I think it's too small, but that's what it looks like. It comes with the contour, blush, and highlight. So I'm just going to go in with my Real Technique contour brush. And I'm going to dip the brush into the contour shade. And I'm just going to start contouring. I haven't used this product yet, so I'll let you guys know how I like it. And we're just going to suck in the cheeks. After we are done contouring, I'm going to use this shade of blush right here, and it is by Essence, and it is in the shade Autumn Peach. I'm going to be using my Wet n Wild blush brush. Just dip the brush into the blush and onto the apples of the cheeks. And I'm going to be going in with my Quo fan brush, and I'm going to be using this highlight that is provided in the palette. And it is pretty pigmented. It's that shade right there. On the tip of my nose, top lip, lash curler, and I'm going to curl my lashes and add some mascara. And I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Voluminous Original Mascara. And I'm going to add it onto both top and bottom lashes to prep for fake lashes. So I finished putting on some mascara, and now I'm just going to go in with these lashes right here, and they are very similar to the Ardell Demi Wispy lashes, but this pack comes with an extra pair, and it is a few dollars cheaper. So I'm just going to go in and start applying these lashes. And for these lashes, I'm going to be using the Revlon Precision Lash Glue. And you want to wait for the glue to dry at least for 30 seconds so it gets tacky. If it is still wet, it will slip around and you'll have a hard time applying. So wait about 30 seconds and you'll be good to apply. And you want to start applying on the middle. And for my lips, I'm going to go in with this Essence lip liner in the shade Soft Berry. I'm just going to line my lips all over with this lip liner. This is the final look, and everything I used was drugstore products, from brushes to foundation, the eyeshadow palette, contour palette. There are a few things that I would personally splurge on, such as a contour palette. For a contour palette, drugstore brand, Maybelline, it's not too bad, but I find the product does go on a little muddy and it does look like it's splotchy unless it's not blended out a lot. Other than that, I love everything that I used. I use it on a regular basis. And honestly, if you're starting out with makeup, I would for sure start out with drugstore brands just because you want to experiment and you want to learn what you like, what shades you like. Starting off with drugstore brand makeup, it will help you develop a feel and help you practice and develop better skills as to oppose using expensive prestige makeup. This way you can practice with whatever makeup you have and you don't have to worry about using up the product. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or any other ideas for future videos, just comment in below and I'll get back to you. Thank you. Bye.